At one point in time, probably about halfway through the college football season, it looked like Miami and Ohio State could be the national title. That was the matchup there. The Hurricanes were big, fast, physical. We know the Josh Pate tweet put out there, the eye test, how great the Hurricanes were. The Buckeyes were, of course, cruising. Instead, it'll be the Cotton Bowl, a quarterfinal matchup between the Buckeyes and the Hurricanes, and we wanted to get right into it with you here on the Ohio State Football Report. Billy Beebe back with you. We've been talking transfer portal. We've been talking a lot of different things with Ohio State football, but it does feel good to know the Buckeyes know who they will play and that the action is back. It is close. It is exciting. All that going on with Ohio State football. And like we said, it is the Hurricanes of Miami. Similar to Ohio State, they have a very good defense and an offense that kind of is carried by that defense and does just enough to win games. Obviously, yes, they did not look terrific against Texas A&M. We're going to discuss the thoughts on that game. We're going to discuss an injury report, predictions, what to watch for. You know how we do it in our previews. So again, it is Ohio State and Miami going at it in the Cotton Bowl. You know how we do it in our previews. If you want Ohio State to beat Miami, there is only one thing to do, and that is like the video. May think it's kind of goofy or kind of weird. Look, we've done this every time for Ohio State. Obviously, they took that tough L to Indiana, but we like to do it anyway, give them that good momentum, give them that good juju, and we're going to do it again for Miami. So, for the Hurricanes, it is important to look at, of course, their performance against Texas A&M today. And I know a lot of you guys are like, man, that was an ugly, ugly game. And it was. For probably 3.5 quarters, I would say. It was a tough watch between Miami and Texas A&M. You had, offenses giving the ball away. I called it a rock'em sock'em robot game. They were just punching each other in the face over and over again, and not in a good way where they're scoring touchdowns and having a good time and everyone's loving watching the game. No, it's just punt, turnover, punt, turnover, scoreless at halftime. It looked like anybody that scored a touchdown was going to win this game. It was really messy. Kicking field goals into the wind over and over and over again. And the thing was, you're watching this as an Ohio State fan, minute by minute of this game, thinking to yourself, man, I'll take either of these teams. These guys stink, right? That was kind of the vibe in this game, was like, I don't know, if we get Miami, awesome. Miami doesn't look good. If we get A&M, great. A&M doesn't look good. And I think that was a lot of Ohio State fans watching this game kind of thinking to themselves, neither of these teams is good enough to take on Ohio State. And we were getting some trash talk in the chat. I'm like, I don't know how you could trash talk Ohio State watching these two teams right now. Really messy game. Obviously, the field goals missed, the turnovers, bad play calling, right? Just ugly bubble screen after bubble screen after bubble screen. And I know a lot of people very excited after that game to kind of take on Miami because of what they saw. So I want to gauge with you right now. What is your concern level taking on the Hurricanes, taking on Miami? How do you feel about Miami? How worried are you about them as a team, as a group? Do you think the Buckeyes can handle them? Do you see them more as the team that was a top contender back in Week 8? Or do you see them as what they just were against Texas A&M? I mean, talk about rust and all that. They got theirs off. They'll be ready to go at it with Ohio State. Scale it for me down below. What is your concern level with Miami? Scale it 1 to 10. Now, maybe I had the same feeling as you, right? But there is one thing that could not escape my mind, and it was these two guys. And these are their season stats. Rueben Bain and Akeem Mesidor. They were electric. Strictly against Texas A&M, multiple tackles for loss, multiple sacks. Bain blocked a kick. I mean, these guys were menaces against Texas A&M. This really was a defensive slugfest, actually, between those two teams. And these two guys were a big reason that it was. I fully believe that. And these are their season stats. You can just see these guys, really, really good players. Bain's going to be a top pick. Mesidor pairs nicely with them. These are very good guys on their defensive line that we saw wreak havoc on a Texas A&M team that was also, by the way, nationally ranked at different points during the season. So, yes, I saw Miami and Carson Beck and all that and thought, man, they look terrible today. But I saw Rueben Bain Jr. and Akeem Mesidor and thought to myself, the Buckeyes are going to have a real problem there. The problem is going to have to be dealt with on the offensive line. You may say to yourself, hey, Buckeyes have been good on the O-line. I don't disagree in general. I think the Buckeyes really struggled against Indiana. I can't stop thinking about the last time that we saw the Ohio State offensive line. They were just getting pushed and shoved around at will. Indiana dominated Ohio State in that Big Ten championship game. This group has to come out, and we'll talk Tegra Tshabola in just a minute. There's going to be a change at right guard. We don't know who yet for sure. Specifically, Daniels and Saraveld. Those edges have to come ready to go. And I'm only worried about it, concerned about it, watching this because of what we saw in the Big Ten title game. It's hard not to think about them, getting pushed around and shoved around while Julian Sain runs for his life against Indiana. So against Bain Jr., against Mesidor, these guys are going to have to step up and control the edges. Even special teams, right? Bain blocked a kick. These are game wreckers. These are guys that will cause trouble for you. So a lot's going to be put on Austin Saraveld and Phillip Daniels, and whoever plays right guard, hopefully to help out a little more. And the offense line as a whole have to contain those two guys. Before we get back to our preview, do want to let you guys know this episode is brought to you by Prize Picks. It's the holiday season, the best time of year for sports. You got bowl games, basketball matchups, playoff pushes. It's all happening at once. And while you and I are out here making decisions every day, what gifts to buy, what to eat, what game to watch, there is one place where it feels good to be right, and that is Prize Picks. I was just showing my buddy the app the other day for Prize Picks, and I think I told you guys before, he's a big Bengals fan, so he's getting real excited about the app, and he's taking more on Burrow, because he's back. And you can do that with stacks, actually. You can take Joe Burrow rushing yards, touchdowns, more on passing yards. You can do that with stacks on Prize Picks. So that was kind of a big deal there. And again, if you want to make sure you've got the app, you can go take a look right now. It's available probably in your state today because it's available in 45 states right now. A look at a 3-pick power play coming up for the Dolphins and the Bengals. And again, 2 is sitting. New quarterback, first action for the rookie Quinn Ewers. I went less on Quinn Ewers there for his passing attempts. I think they'll try and run the ball a little bit to help him out. McPherson, McMoney they call him, more on his field goal and a half made. And then Darren Waller's been going crazy this year, so I wanted to make sure I took more on 28 and a half receiving yards. He's been doing really, really well lately and just catching the ball and being all over the field. So wanted to make sure I got in on the Darren Waller more on his receiving yards there. With Prize Picks, big thing here. I know a lot of you guys, your fantasy season is cooked, right? Your fantasy season is done. Prize Picks is the best way to go without a draft and get back in on the fantasy action. You don't have to wait till next year's draft. Prize Picks lets you play fantasy football every week. You pick your favorite players and win when they hit their projections. That's right. No draft. No waiting. Just pick your favorite players, and you win when they hit their projections, right? I think that's really great. If you think your season's over, that's definitely like something you can do quickly to get back in the game. I love that with Prize Picks on that front. So definitely notable with that. What you want to do, download the app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups. After you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Do want to talk a little bit about injuries here for Ohio State and Miami. Tegra Tshabola, obviously that is going to be a big point of emphasis for Ohio State. We talked about it in our major changes videos. You can go back and watch that one. The right guard position has been a weakness for Ohio State throughout the year. So unfortunately, Tshabola's hurt. That's not how you want to see a guy lose his job in the football world. You don't want to see Tshabola hurt. But Lettermen Row's Austin Ward reporting there's an upper body injury, and he is most likely, from his sources, not going to be available in the Cotton Bowl. The eyes immediately turn to Gabe Van Sickle. He subbed in for Tshabola during the Indiana game, stepped in, I thought played extremely well. You can see the numbers there. For Gabe Van Sickle. Yes, Josh Padilla was in the mix for a while, but Josh Padilla got hurt. And, hey, maybe Josh Padilla's recovered. Maybe Josh Padilla's ready to go. But you look at this situation here with Tshabola now out, and you look how bad he was against Indiana. Injury report, he seems to be out. Van Sickle subs in. He was a part of those final 2 drives where the Buckeyes should have scored, didn't score. But you're hoping the change might be an addition by subtraction situation. Again, tough to see Tshabola out, but it's all part of the game, and it's notable to talk about the fact that Van Sickle will be stepping in, and there will be a new right guard for Ohio State against Miami. Now, for the Hurricanes, they were without 3 players against Texas A&M, so they're dealing with some injuries. They also had some couple different players leave with concussion symptoms, so we're going to have to wait for more information on those guys. But Miami's banged up. It's definitely worth noting they're missing different members of their team right now. You can see Malik Bryant on that defense, which still played all right without him. Dalen Upshaw, they need help at wide receiver, let me tell you, and Damarian Brown. Again, the defense a little banged up for Miami right now. Good opportunity here. Get your score predictions in down below. I want to hear from you guys. How do you think this one's going to go? I'm a little nervous because, I took that over, or liked the over for Miami against Texas A&M, and, well, facts are nothing happened. Actually, nothing happened in general. There were just not many points scored at all in that game, and it was kind of, a little disappointing in general, but I want to get your score predictions down below. The Buckeyes didn't score much against Indiana either, so they're kind of in a weird spot right now where it's like these are 2 offensive teams, but they're not scoring much. So get your score prediction in down below. I know Carson Beck is going to be a lot of the discussion in our keys to victory and talking about how the Buckeyes can win. Look, he was really bad against Texas A&M. I don't think he was good. I thought he looked rattled. Tom Downey agreed he looked rattled. He just did not look good. Get after him. That's a key to victory for you. Get after Carson Beck. He looked uncomfortable today because Texas A&M was getting after him, forcing him to run, forcing him to make bad throws, forcing the offense to change and run bubble screens, which I think Arvell Reese and the rest of the Buckeyes would absolutely eat up bubble screens from Miami. So I'd actually love to see that one. But the key with Beck, yeah, definitely get after him. And we know, Arvell Reese has been spying quarterbacks lately, so I'd be excited to see Arvell Reese get after Carson Beck instead of spying Carson Beck. Kenyatta Jackson's been good. Caden Curry's been good. Just get after this guy. Make him uncomfortable, and I think we'll see similar numbers to today and see a win to go with it. So that's kind of a key to victory, getting after Carson Beck. I know he's like a big name for Miami, and that's a big discussion point for him. Now, on the Ohio State side of things, the discussion about the offense getting better, the offense being fixed, has been centered around the red zone. Do you want to note this from Jake Butt, former Michigan tight end, now with the Big Ten Network. Look, Michigan guy, but I respect him a lot. I like Jake Butt. The big thing here, guys, is the red zone. I know everybody has ideas on how they want to solve the red zone issue for Ohio State. And I've been back and forth. And again, we talked a ton about the tight ends on the field. Too many in general, right? And Jake Butt hit on it here. You can pause and read through that there. But essentially, he's talking about when you get into the red zone, when you get into a situation where it's time to score, it's time to make something happen, that is not the time to take Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Tate out of the game. Butt hit on that perfectly, is you can put those guys in and force the defense to spread out, give yourself more opportunities, cause more havoc because both those guys are in. And again, I've talked with you guys about the fact that Carnell Tate was the one who caught the only touchdown for Ohio State. So why are we taking Carnell Tate off the field in the red zone? I know the red zone scoring, the red zone operation, that's going to be a big topic of conversation when Ohio State plays Miami, because that was really what we saw last against Indiana, was a big struggle there. So shout out to Jake Butt, broke it down well. We're going to break it down more coming up, but wanted to include that in a keys to victory for the Buckeyes. Now, you guys know it. We will be live for this game, so make sure you guys are ready to rock with us. Hit that sub button, because yes, we will have a live watch party for Ohio State and Miami. It's the college football playoff. You know we weren't going to miss it. It's the quarterfinal. I love the aura of Ohio State and Miami. Obviously, that national title and the history of these programs separately, and now they're coming together. I think it's going to be a great game. We'd love to have you guys with us. Hit that sub button and join our watch party on Saturday. Now, you gave your score prediction. Let me give mine. 35-10. I believe in the Ohio State defense. They were not the biggest issue against Indiana. I know what the Ohio State defense can do. I think they will show up against Miami. And I believe in Ryan Day, and I believe in Ohio State to fix the problems that they had against Indiana, to go back into a playoff mode that we saw last season and that we will see again this season. Miami, again, has talent, has size, has speed. They are going to do things against you that might make you nervous or might keep you on your toes, and they're going to get points on you. I understand that. But I believe in Ohio State. I believe in the run they're about to make, and I think it starts with a 35-10 victory over Miami.